Yo, what up? We're up 502 King Paul. So it's been a little while since I've been able to post a video, but just been a really busy past week for me. But got through it. Thank God everything's good, man. I wanted to put out the message that I'm putting out in today's video because I saw a comment on one of my other videos asking about my anxiety that I had with smoking weed. And I want to use this video as a moment to try to, do a kind of compare and contrast between, how I deal with anxiety now as opposed to my anxiety and, how it pretty much reached its peak point when I was smoking weed. So, if you watch any of my past videos where I'm talking about smoking weed, you'll know that this was something that I did all the time. I did it all the time. I mean, I went to the store high. I went to my jobs high. I went to funerals high. Anything, any normal daily activity that I would do, I had to be high in order to do it. And it's a lot of people that smoke weed. It's the exact same way, man. You wake up first thing in the morning, even before brushing your teeth for a lot of people, you hit the blunt, bong, papers, whatever it is you smoke out of. Then a couple hours later, you smoking again. A couple hours later, you smoking again. Because, once your tolerance gets so high, it's not something that you can just do at one point during the day and be cool with it. Once you become a chronic weed smoker, you're going to need to smoke weed all throughout the day in order to maintain your high. And when you're not high, you start to feel really down, low energy, kind of irritable, and it's just a lot of different effects that come with it that a lot of people don't really think about while they're smoking weed because they constantly stay high. For me personally, man, my battle with anxiety, it wasn't that bad when I first started off. It truly wasn't. A lot of people I know that don't smoke weed, they say that the main reason why they did not become a pothead or someone who uses weed all the time is because it causes them to be very paranoid. It causes them to have high anxiety levels. So they tended to experience that early on, like their first time smoking, and they just decided, this is not for me. On the other hand, the people who, continue to use weed day in, day out, all throughout the day, those are the people who normally do not have those high anxiety levels. But I'm gonna tell you something, man, like as time went on and I started smoking more and more and more, and I mean, this is over the course of years. It wasn't something that just popped up for me, but over the course of years, my anxiety got worse and worse and worse as I continued to smoke weed. I can tell you, man, there were a lot of times I was out in public and I didn't want to speak to people because I was high. I was paranoid out in public because I was high. I was, just always super on alert, just super paranoid in a lot of different situations. There were times where, I would have family get-togethers and I didn't even want to be around them because a lot of my family is not cool with smoking weed. So I would purposely not go to certain events. I would purposely, try to stay away from different friends and family that did not smoke weed. And I'm gonna tell you something, man, while I'm on this subject. Anything that pulls you away from your loved ones, anything that pulls you away from people that care about you and that you care about them, it's not good for you, man. And this is something that I knew back then, but I kind of chose to ignore it. I chose to, just pick the drug really over those relationships in my life. And, that's something that I highly regret because there were a lot of moments I was not able to partake in or fully enjoy because I'm high and I'm paranoid. I'm wondering, if they smell the weed on me, if they notice the look in my eyes that I'm high. It was sometimes that I got called out on being high by family members, by friends that did not mess with weed whatsoever. So, that was something that, where the anxiety really impacted my life in a major way. And if I could go back and fix that, I would. But woulda, coulda, shoulda. The past is the past. You gotta focus on what's in front of you at this moment and move forward. But I know a lot of people, watch my channel and they watch these videos and they still smoke. But you can probably identify with some of these feelings of anxiety, of paranoia that you go through when you smoke weed. Man, the icing on the cake as far as the anxiety for me personally was when I started to become paranoid in the comfort of my own home. I know a lot of people have different methods that they use to stop smoking. Me personally, excuse me, I had to replace my bad habit of smoking weed with a lot of good habits. So just eating better, going out and doing different activities, working out, just taking care of myself better. I just focused on that. You know, focused on the YouTube channel, focused on doing productive things, getting my finances in order. A lot of things that I pretty much neglected due to smoking weed and just, you know, staying in that fog. And I made sure that I focused on those things. But along with me doing those activities, along with me getting out and, you know, doing the positive things, man, I prayed a lot. Me personally, and I know everyone that watches this channel, you're not religious, spiritual, whatever, and you don't have to be. But I am telling you this because I would pray and I would talk to God a lot and ask him to take this away from me, take the urge away from me. I actually, the woman that I was dating, you know, she told me that that's how she got over smoking weed, was having those conversations. And she had told me this for a couple of years, you know, that she just had to pray it away. She had to pray several times. It wasn't just like it happened one time, one prayer, one conversation with God, and it just went away. No, this was several times, always asking God, please take this feeling away from me. Please take this urge away from me. And for me personally, when I started doing that in my life, I noticed that my anxiety and the way that I felt, it amplified so much more when I would start to smoke weed. I would smoke weed and I wouldn't get that same feeling of euphoria that I had before. You know, those good feelings that you have when you first started smoking weed. It started to be feelings of guilt, feelings of anxiety. And with me being a spiritual person, I also started to feel things differently on a spiritual level when I started to smoke weed. I'm gonna tell y'all, man, like there were times where I was sitting in my house and I would be just chilling, you know, and then I'm sitting there going back and forth with myself, you know, are you gonna smoke? Am I gonna smoke? And I would light up that blunt, hit it a couple times, and next thing you know, man, I'm just tripping out. Like I'm tripping out. I'm seeing shadows going past the doors, like legit. And I'm not making up none of this, man. Like I'm sitting on my couch and I'm just watching shadows go past the door. And I'm like, what is that? What is it? You know, all jumpy. I'm seeing stuff that's not there. I'm seeing stuff out the corner of my eyes. I'm seeing stuff on the floor that wasn't there. And, you know, I would look harder and realize it wasn't there. But, you know, my mind was messing with me so much, man. I'd be super paranoid. I used to be sitting in the crib and, you know, in the house, and I'm thinking, you know, man, what if somebody broke in here right now? You know, and you all high and lazy sitting on the couch. You know, what if this happened? What if somebody kicked my door right now? You know, and it just crazy thoughts that I would never have in a sober mind state, but I'm constantly just thinking of the worst case scenarios. You know, even in my relationships and stuff, man, I would allow my imagination to just run wild, and it really ruined or, you know, put a damper on the relationships that I had in my life because I'm so paranoid about, you know, if this person has my best interest in mind, if this woman, you know, if she's really being truthful, loyal, honest to me, if, you know, if these friends, you know, if they're really my friends, you know, you start thinking of all the worst case scenarios, and I would just have these things happen to me. But back to the shadows and stuff, man, like I said, I am a spiritual person. So part of me, when I got high, I felt like, for one, I was displeasing God because I'm asking him on one hand to help me out, pull me out of this. And on the other hand, I'm still doing what it is that I'm doing. So there was no real repentance, because repentance is a change of mind and a change in your behavior. It's not enough for you to ask God, you know, take this away from me. You know, I promise I won't do this, and then turn around and to keep on doing it. You have to put action with your faith. You can't just say, you know, oh, Almighty God, you know, take this away, do all the work, and I'm not going to do anything. You know, you have to put in that work yourself. If you're a spiritual person, even if you're not a spiritual person, man, you have to actively put in that work. Don't think that somebody's going to come and pull you out of your situation. Don't think that somebody's going to come and just say the right words to persuade you to stop smoking weed. That's not how it works. You have to want to do it for you. And once I realized that in my mind, man, that completely changed the whole game for me. Once I realized that I had the power to stop doing what it was I was doing, that I had the power over this weed and the weed didn't have the power over me. Because a lot of times, man, I just felt helpless. I felt low self-esteem because I'm like, man, why are you so weak? In my mind anyways, I'm not calling nobody weak watching this video or that smokes weed, but I was just thinking to myself personally, You know, why are you being so weak-minded to where you're allowing something to control you? You don't even want to smoke anymore, but you're still smoking. Why can't you beat this? So that made my self-esteem go down so low because I'm still battling with this. But back to that spiritual aspect, man, you know, seeing the shadows and all this, you know, I felt like, for one, I was displeasing God, but I also felt like Satan was celebrating each and every time I lit up that blunt. I'm gonna be completely honest, you know, and I don't know, I've seen things about the shadows and all that, you know, what they are, and I've heard that they're spirits and things of that nature, but I would never see these kinds of things until I smoked. And I felt like, you know, the devil was laughing at me pretty much like, you know, here you go again. Man, I got you. You thought you was going to be strong. I got you, though. I got you. Man, you just need to give it up. Just keep on smoking weed. That's what's keeping you, you know, sane. That's what's keeping you content. That's what's keeping you at peace in your life. But it was the complete opposite, man. I can tell you for sure and for certain that since I have stopped smoking weed, my anxiety levels have went way down, way, way down. I no longer deal with those kinds of crazy thoughts that come across my mind. You know, thinking about worst case scenarios. You know, somebody breaking in my house, somebody betraying me, somebody doing this and that. I don't think that way. And I realize that the way that we think has a huge impact on the way that we move in our life. The actions that we take or will not take, just simply based on our thought process, how you think about things, how you think that you can deal with things, or how you think that you can't deal with certain things. So I just want to say, man, I'm so glad that I'm continuing on this journey. It's been a while. I'm still seeing the benefits day in, day out, you know, of me not smoking weed. I'm making much better decisions in my life. I'm moving around with a lot less anxiety. Like I said, it's pretty much non-existent. I'm not saying that stressful situations don't still occur in my life, but I handle them a totally different kind of way than what I used to. I used to run to the blunt. Every time that something came up in life, first thing I got to do is smoke. I get into an argument with somebody, I need to smoke. You know, something goes wrong, I need to smoke. Somebody dies, I need to smoke. You know, it was just like a crutch that I was using, and once I removed that crutch, I learned to be stronger and stand up on my own and, you know, use my own mind and my heart and my relationship with God to strengthen me. I no longer needed those things, man, and I'm telling y'all that it is so worth it. If you're thinking about stopping, you know, smoking weed, if you're thinking about, you know, putting it down, turning a new leaf in life, man, I can tell you it is so, so worth it from someone who's been in that for 11, 12 years, man, for someone who's been in this, you know, this place for so long. Felt like I was a prisoner to my own thoughts, to my own actions that I was doing each and every day. Every day I'm waking up, you know, I'm getting high to get away from life's issues when all I had to do was just get in tune with myself. For me personally, get in tune with my relationship with God, really, you know, ramp that up. Make sure that I'm doing the things that I need to be doing in my life and for the people in my life, man. I don't want to make this video go on too long, but I did want to touch on that just so you know. Yes, I had mega anxiety in my life when I started, you know, getting to the point that I wanted to stop smoking weed. The anxiety became even worse. But after I stopped smoking weed, I can tell you, man, so much peace has came over my life. I got a clear mind. I can handle things very clearly. You know, if something comes my way, problems, it's not a problem because I know that I can handle it, man. If y'all like anything about this video, go down below, like the video, leave a comment, let me know what you think. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, make sure you take a moment, go and subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you get all my new videos as soon as I drop them, man. It's 502 King Paul. I love y'all, and y'all stay blessed. I'm out.